At the very northern tip of South America, right where the continent greets the Caribbean Sea, you'll find a land of just staggering contrast. It's a nation whose name alone, Colombia, seems to whisper stories of incredible beauty, but also of a really tumultuous, often violent past. And its story? Well, it's one of the most compelling on the entire planet.
I mean, think about it. How can a single place hold so much life, so much natural wonder, and at the same time, so much conflict? From its snowy mountain peaks to the deep Amazon jungle, this is a country defined by extremes. And it's right there, in those extremes, that this unique spirit of resilience was born. A spirit that, we really have to understand to truly get Colombia.
So our journey has to start with the land itself. Colombia is just geographically blessed. It's the only country in South America that gets to touch two oceans, the warm, turquoise Caribbean on one side and the huge, wild Pacific on the other. This incredible position has basically created a cradle for an explosion of life, a biological richness that's almost hard to wrap your head around.
There's actually a special name for places like this. They're called megadiverse, and it's an exclusive club. Only a handful of nations on Earth hold such a huge share of the planet's species. But even among this elite group, Colombia is just in a league of its own.
You see, it's one thing to have a ton of different species. It's a whole other thing to have them packed in with such unbelievable density. We're talking about every single square mile of this nation, from the humid, sticky Amazon to the chilly Andean highlands, just teeming with a concentration of life you literally cannot find anywhere else on Earth.
Just think about the birds for a second. The air in Colombia is just alive with the sound of wings and a chorus of song. Get this, more species of birds have been recorded here than in all of Europe and all of North America combined. For anyone who watches the skies, it's nothing short of a paradise.
Let this number really sink in for a moment. 1 out of every 10 species on the entire planet can be found right here, inside the borders of Colombia. It's a biological treasure of global importance. It's like a living, breathing library of evolution.
But of course, this land isn't just home to an abundance of wildlife. The human landscape of Colombia is every bit as rich and diverse. For centuries, history has been weaving together this incredible tapestry of cultures, creating a nation of over 52 million people. The roots of the country run deep. Now, the majority of people are mestizo. That's a blend of European and indigenous heritage that was really forged after the Spanish arrived. But that's only scratching the surface. You've got these incredibly strong Afro-Colombian and indigenous communities that are the absolute bedrock of the nation's identity, and their traditions really shape its soul. So this isn't just one single story. It's a mosaic of so many. You've got over 80 distinct indigenous cultures that are still thriving here. Along the Pacific coast, the rhythms of Africa just pulse through the music and daily life of Afro-Colombian communities. And then up on the Caribbean coast, the influence of European and Middle Eastern immigrants adds another fascinating layer to this complex and beautiful human tapestry.
And yet, for so much of its recent history, this vibrant nation has been defined not by its diversity, but by conflict. So to understand the Colombia of today, we have to go back. We have to look into the shadows of its past.
The seeds of conflict were sown early on. Political tensions just simmered for 100 years after independence, until they finally exploded in 1948 with an assassination. The brutal civil war that followed, which became known as La Violencia, just tore the country apart. And from those ashes, leftist guerrilla groups rose up in the 60s, and then came the 80s, and the rise of the drug cartels, which plunged the country into a new, absolutely terrifying chapter of violence. It was a long, dark road. But in 2016, a historic peace deal finally offered a real glimmer of hope.
The scars of this conflict are deep, there's no doubt about it. But these statistics, they tell a story of a remarkable transformation. Back in 1991, at the absolute peak of the violence, Colombia was one of the most dangerous places on Earth. But by 2020, the homicide rate had plummeted by over 70%. This isn't just a number, it's a testament to a nation's collective will to choose peace over war.
And so, a new Colombia is rising from the embers of its past. A nation that was forged in resilience and is now looking ahead with a dynamic economy and a surprisingly progressive vision for its future.
And its natural wealth, it goes deeper than the soil. The world's finest emeralds are mined from its mountains. Its hillsides produce some of the most famous coffee on the planet. Its fields grow flowers that are sent all across the globe. And deep underground, you've got reserves of oil and coal that are fueling its modern economy.
Okay, and here's where the story of modern Colombia takes a really surprising turn, one that kind of shatters old stereotypes.
The World Health Organization has actually ranked its healthcare system as the best in the Americas. This is a nation that's investing not just in its economy, but in the actual well-being of its people.
And this forward-thinking spirit is woven right into the fabric of its laws. In a region that's often known for being pretty socially conservative, Colombia has really stepped up as a leader in human rights. It's legalized same-sex marriage, it protects the right to die with dignity, and it's even extended legal protections to animals. It's a nation that is truly redefining itself on its own terms.
Maybe it all comes down to the national motto: Libertad y orden, freedom and order. Just 2 words, but they seem to capture the very soul of this place, the wild, untamed freedom of its jungles and mountains, and that deep human need for order, for peace, and for a stable future.
So this is Colombia, a land of profound contradictions, a paradise that was literally forged in fire, a nation that has looked straight into the abyss and has chosen to walk a different path. It's faced its darkest chapters, and now it's writing a new one filled with hope and resilience. The story of Colombia is so far from over, and the world is watching, waiting to see what this extraordinary nation will do next.